inspired by Homer's The Iliad, ancient historical sources, and archaeological research, narrated with care to honor the spirit of the original work. Before we begin, this story is inspired by ancient texts, archaeological discoveries, and the quiet rhythm of history itself. While some moments have been gently imagined to guide you toward peaceful sleep, every effort has been made to honor the people, places, and wisdom of the ancient world. So, make yourself comfortable and allow your shoulders to soften. Let your hands grow still. Take one slow, deep breath in and gently breathe out. Again, a slow breath in and a peaceful breath out. There is nowhere you need to be, nothing you need to finish, nothing waiting for your attention. For the next little while, the modern world can quietly drift away. The glowing screens, the hurried thoughts, the endless lists of tomorrow may all become a little more distant with every gentle breath tonight. History is not a lesson to be learned. It is not a race through names and dates. It is a quiet place to wander, a place where forgotten footsteps still echo across ancient stones, where olive trees whisper beneath the evening breeze, where distant campfires glow beneath countless stars, and where the stories of ordinary people live on beside those of kings and heroes. Tonight, we return, not simply to remember the ancient world, but to rest within it. So close your eyes, breathe slowly, and allow history to carry you gently towards sleep. Welcome to Dream Drop Valley. Tonight, our journey begins not upon the restless seas, but beside a quiet shoreline. Long before a weary king named Odysseus searched for the shores of Ithaca, long before Penelope waited beside her loom, long before the Cyclops, the Sirens, or the island of Calypso, there was another story, a story older than every wave that would one day carry Odysseus across the wine-dark sea. Tonight, we travel back to the final days of the Trojan War. The moon hangs silently above the coast of Asia Minor. Its silver light stretches gently across the calm waters of the Aegean. Hundreds of Greek ships rest quietly upon the dark shoreline. Their sails have been lowered. Their oars lie still. Only the soft sound of waves touching the sand disturbs the silence. Across the beach, small campfires flicker beneath the night sky. Some warriors have already fallen asleep beneath rough woolen blankets. Others quietly sharpen their bronze spears or sit beside the fire, lost in thoughts of distant homes they have not seen for nearly 10 years. Far beyond the Greek camp, the great walls of Troy stand beneath the stars, strong, silent, patient. Behind those ancient stones, families sleep, children dream. Old men watch the fading firelight from quiet courtyards, and mothers whisper gentle prayers that another dawn may arrive in peace. For nearly a decade, these two worlds have faced one another across a narrow stretch of earth, neither willing to surrender, neither certain of what tomorrow may bring. Yet this is not the story of the entire war, nor is it the story of the famous wooden horse or the fall of mighty Troy. Those tales belong to another night. Tonight, our journey begins with something far quieter. The anger of one man, an anger so powerful that it would alter the lives of kings, warriors, families, and even the destiny of Odysseus himself. For before Odysseus could begin the long voyage that would one day become the Odyssey, He first had to survive the final days of Troy, and that story was told by Homer in the Iliad. So, as the waves continue their gentle rhythm upon the shore, and the campfires slowly burn beneath the endless stars, let us step quietly into the world before the journey home, and discover where the road to Ithaca truly began. The first light of morning slowly reaches the Greek camp. A soft mist drifts above the quiet shoreline, where hundreds of ships have rested for nearly 10 long years. The sea is calm today. Only the gentle rhythm of the waves brushes against the weathered hulls of the waiting vessels. The soldiers awaken one by one. Some quietly tend the morning fires. Others polish their bronze helmets, or share simple bread beneath the growing light. Yet beneath the calm, something unseen has begun to change. Far from the sounds of battle and inside the commander's tent, two proud men stand facing one another. One is Agamemnon, king of Mycenae and leader of the Greek armies. The other is Achilles, the greatest warrior among them. Young, brilliant, almost unmatched upon the battlefield. But this morning, their enemy is not Troy, it is pride. Days earlier, the god Apollo had sent a terrible plague upon the Greek camp. The reason was simple. Agamemnon had refused to return a young woman named Chryseis to her father, a priest of Apollo, to end the suffering. Agamemnon finally agrees to let her go, yet his pride demands another reward. If he must lose one prize, he will take another. His eyes turn toward Briseis, the young woman who had been awarded to Achilles after an earlier victory. She is not merely a possession, she has become a symbol of Achilles' honor, earned through courage and sacrifice. When Agamemnon orders Briseis to be taken away, silence fills the space between the two men. Achilles does not reach for his sword. Though anger burns within him, he restrains himself, for even in his fury, he understands that one reckless moment could destroy everything. Instead, he makes another choice, a quieter choice, one that will change the course of the war. He turns away. He lays down his spear. His shield remains untouched. His famous armor no longer catches the morning sun. Achilles will fight no more. Outside, the camp continues almost as before. The sea still rises and falls with every gentle wave. Seabirds circle above the quiet coast. The smoke from the cooking fires drifts peacefully into the brightening sky. Nature remains unchanged. Yet among the soldiers, a quiet uncertainty begins to spread. Without Achilles, who will stand before the armies of Troy? Who will protect the ships, their friends, their long hope of returning home? Far across the plain, the city of Troy stands patiently beyond its mighty walls. Its people know nothing of the words spoken within the Greek camp that morning. They cannot yet see that a single argument, born not from swords, but from wounded pride, has begun to shape the fate of thousands. Homer opens the Iliad with a single word, wrath. Not because anger is glorious, but because even the anger of one person can ripple outward like a stone cast into still water, touching lives far beyond its first beginning. As the morning grows brighter, Achilles walks alone toward the edge of the sea. He sits quietly upon the smooth stones, watching the endless horizon. The waves continue their timeless song, patient, unhurried, as though they already know that every journey, even the long road home of Odysseus, must first pass through this moment of silence. The days pass quietly, yet the silence within the Greek camp grows heavier. Without Achilles, the balance of the war begins to change. Across the wide plain before Troy, the Trojan army advances with new confidence. At its head rides Hector, the eldest son of King Priam, protector of Troy, husband to Andromache, and father to a young boy who is still too small to understand the meaning of war. Hector does not fight for glory alone. He fights for the city where he was born, for the family waiting behind the ancient walls, and for the hope that tomorrow's sunrise will still shine upon their home. Each evening, when the battle grows quiet, he returns through the great gates of Troy. He removes his bronze helmet, embraces his wife, and gently lifts his little son into his arms for a few precious moments. He is not the greatest warrior of Troy. He is simply a husband and a father. Far away, within the Greek camp, another heart has begun to ache. Patroclus, the closest friend of Achilles, watches as more wounded soldiers return each day. The cries of pain drift softly through the rows of tents. The healers work without rest. The hope of the Greek army grows smaller with every passing sunrise. At last, Patroclus approaches Achilles. He asks for only one thing. If Achilles himself will not fight, then allow him to wear the famous armor, so the Trojans may believe the great warrior has returned. Achilles looks into the eyes of his oldest companion after a long silence. He agrees, but with one gentle warning. Drive the Trojans away from the ships, he says. Then return. Do not chase them to the walls of Troy. Do not let victory carry you too far. Patroclus nods. As dawn breaks, he fastens the shining armor. The Myrmidons gather behind him. Across the battlefield, a murmur spreads among the Trojan ranks. Achilles has returned, or so they believe. The tide of battle begins to turn. The Greek ships are saved. The Trojans retreat across the plain. But in the excitement of victory, Patroclus forgets the promise he made. He continues forward, closer and closer, to the towering walls of Troy. There, beneath the shadow of the city, he sought to reach. His journey comes to an end. Hector meets him in battle. When the dust finally settles, Patroclus lies quietly upon the earth. The bronze armor that once belonged to Achilles has fallen silent. For a moment, even the battlefield seems to pause. The wind carries no triumph, only grief. News soon reaches the Greek camp. Achilles listens without speaking. The sea stretches quietly before him, just as it did on the day he laid down his spear. But now, everything has changed. No anger remains, only sorrow, only love for the friend he could not protect. The tears of the greatest warrior fall unnoticed beside the shore. His mother, the sea goddess Thetis, comes to comfort her son. She knows the choice that now lies before him. If Achilles returns to battle, his glory will be eternal, but his own life will be short. Achilles understands. He accepts his fate, not for honor, not for victory, but for Patroclus. Slowly, he rises. Once more, he reaches for his spear, and beneath the quiet sky of Troy, the greatest warrior of Greece prepares to walk toward the destiny he has always known awaited him. The morning arrives beneath a quiet sky. A gentle breeze moves across the wide plain before Troy. For a brief moment, the world seems almost peaceful, yet both armies know that this day will be remembered for generations. Achilles has returned, not with the calm heart he once carried, but with a grief so deep that it has become something stronger than fear. Across the battlefield, Hector waits before the great gates of Troy. Behind him, the ancient city watches in silence. Its towers stand bathed in the soft light of morning. Its people gather upon the walls. Some pray, some weep quietly, some simply watch, knowing that the fate of their greatest defender is about to unfold. Hector could retreat behind the safety of the city. The gates remain open. His family waits within, but he does not run. He chooses to stand, not because he believes he cannot be defeated, but because some duties are greater than life itself. The two warriors meet beneath the endless sky. The clash of bronze echoes across the plain, then slowly fades into silence. When the battle is over, Hector lies peacefully upon the earth. The greatest guardian of Troy has fallen. Achilles' sorrow is still too heavy to bear. His anger has not yet found its end. He binds Hector's body behind his chariot, and each day he circles the walls of Troy. Yet even in his grief, the gods quietly protect Hector's body from harm, as though reminding both heroes that dignity does not disappear with death. Days pass. The fires of the Greek camp burn low beneath the stars. The sea continues its endless rhythm beside the shore. Then, on a quiet night, an old man walks alone through the darkness. It is Priam, king of Troy, father of Hector, guided by the god Hermes. He crosses the silent battlefield. No army stops him. No soldier raises a spear. Only the moon watches his lonely journey. At last, he enters the tent of Achilles. The greatest warrior in Greece looks up in surprise. Before a single word is spoken, the old king kneels. He takes the hands that ended his son's life and gently kisses them. His voice is calm, filled not with anger, but with sorrow. Remember your own father, and have pity on me. I have done what no father should ever have to do. I have come to beg for my son's body. For a long moment, neither man speaks. Achilles sees not a king, not an enemy, but simply a father carrying the same love, the same fear, and the same grief that lives within every human heart. He thinks of his own father, waiting far away in Greece, wondering if his son will ever return. The anger that has filled his heart begins to grow quiet. Like a storm slowly passing beyond the horizon, Achilles rises with great care. He returns Hector's body to Priam. No victory is celebrated, no triumph is declared. Only two men, bound together by loss, sharing a sight. Hector is carried home, not as a defeated warrior, but as a beloved son, a faithful husband, a devoted father, and the protector of his people. Here, Homer chooses to end the Iliad. Not with the fall of Troy, not with the wooden horse, not with victory, but with compassion, with the understanding that even in times of war, mercy remains one of humanity's greatest strengths. And somewhere beyond the quiet sea, another journey patiently waits to begin. The long voyage of Odysseus toward the distant shores of Ithaca. But tonight, the winds are still. The campfires burn softly. The stars watch silently. above the plains of Troy, and for one precious night the world remembers that peace can sometimes begin with a single act of kindness. The sea grows quiet once more. Its gentle waves continue their endless journey beneath the silver light of the moon. The voices of kings, the footsteps of heroes, and the echoes of distant battles have all faded into the night. Only the soft whisper of the wind remains. The campfires burn lower now. Their golden light flickers gently against the dark shoreline. One by one, the weary soldiers close their eyes. The sea watches over them all without choosing sides. Greek, Trojan, father, son, friend, or king. Tonight, they are simply human souls beneath the same sky, far beyond the quiet camp. The city of Troy rests beneath countless stars. Its ancient walls stand silent. Its streets grow still. Even the wind seems to move more gently now, as though wishing not to disturb the peace that has finally arrived. Take one slow breath in and gently breathe out. Feel the cool evening air drifting across the Aegean Sea. Hear the quiet rhythm of the waves, the distant crackle of the fading fire, the soft song of the night. Allow every thought to become a little lighter, a little quieter, a little farther away. For tonight, our journey comes to its gentle end. The story of the Iliad has found its quiet resting place. But beyond the horizon, another journey patiently waits. The ships that have rested upon these shores for so many years will soon raise their sails. A clever king named Odysseus will turn his eyes toward home, toward Ithaca, toward the sea, toward a voyage that will become one of the greatest adventures ever told. But that is a story for another peaceful night. For now, there is nowhere left to travel, nowhere left to remember. Only the calm rhythm of your breathing, only the quiet embrace of sleep. May your dreams be gentle, may your heart be peaceful, and may the ancient world always welcome you whenever you choose to return. Thank you for wandering through history with Dream Drop Valley. Until our next journey, sleep well. The sea grows distant. The campfires of Troy slowly fade into the night. And with the first light of another dawn, our path leads away from kings, away from heroes, and into the quiet countryside of ancient Greece. There, beneath the shade of olive trees. The poet Hesiod reminds us that true wisdom is often found not upon the battlefield, but in the patient rhythm of the earth. Join us next time. Sleep through Hesiod's works and days. Until then, sleep peacefully, and let history carry you gently toward tomorrow.